Okay, let's check. I always check my hair. What is the point of that? I don't know. I think it's just a instinct. I have little wispies, it's what happens when your hair starts to get longer and you're like, oh, how do I do this? Good morning, it's Bridget. Hi, nice to see you. Welcome to my Fairy Grasshopper YouTube channel. I wanted to chat with you. I have to share some stuff with you that's just coming through. Okay, so on my videos lately, as I've been working in this new office space that I have, it's a room downstairs that originally, when I moved into this house, was kind of deemed a healing space. Some of you will relate to this, but then soon it became a child's bedroom because I had three bigger kids and the two boys that were sharing a room. It just seemed like, let's give them their own space. Plus, I wasn't really doing a lot of work. Like, I wasn't doing in-person work from home anymore or needing to have a healing space. Like, I got rid of my massage table. Some of you might not know this, but I did hands-on healing sessions and at one point, energetic work. And now I do that remotely or in the field of someone's energy. So I actually had a friend just recently ask me if I'm interested in doing that again. And I thought, I have been working on anointing and learning the sacred art of anointing, which is using incredible, very high quality, which means very expensive and very honorably sourced essential oils to anoint. And I've been working with that since probably December last year, and it's just been incredibly amazing. It's very divine feminine. It's balancing the masculine feminine energies. It's honoring us in our integrity as who we are, as authentic, beautiful, soulful beings that are living a human life experience and trying to balance that self-care and self-honor, self-love with our fullest expression in the world, doing the work that we want to do, showing up in the relationships that we have. So interesting. It's bringing up all sorts of stuff. But I have had a lot of very intentional shopping trips. I have posted on Bridget Inspired on Instagram pictures of my space as it was kind of unfolding. And I just got my desk this week. And I have this thing about, I wanted movable furniture because I wanted to be able to roll this desk table aside. And it has wheels. I'll show you pictures of it. And it has, again, it's on Instagram, but I can post them again. And it has wheels so I can move it aside so I can lay out a yoga mat in here and stretch and do yoga. And this morning I actually did I actually have an exercise mat that's a little thicker than a regular yoga mat. It's way better on the knees, just so you know. It's hard with balancing poses. You wouldn't really do balancing poses on it, but I mean, I guess you could. It's really squishy, so it helps with the knees for me when I'm just doing morning stretching or gentle somatic movements or meditation. And I used to all the time on Fairy Grasshopper here post pictures of card readings I would do for myself in the morning or tap into the themes energetically, and I'd share them with you and show you this is how you use tools like a card deck to get insight and to keep you inspired, like as you step into your day or throughout your day. It doesn't just have to be for a specific topic or to know an answer. It can just be to connect in with energy around you, and that helps you connect with your spirit guides, helps you connect with the supportive universal energy and cosmic consciousness. For some, you pray. For others, you meditate. And for others, you do yoga or walk. There's a lot of options for that connection, but cards, I think, are a great way visually to stimulate and intellectually to stimulate the mind, to get the mind on board, because there's words. And the mind likes words, things that are practical and tangible. So a card helps that. I think it really sinks that in. I super encourage you to do that. So I did that this morning. It was great. I'm going to post that video as well so you can see that as I was contemplating some things, starting to make some plans again. Finally, I feel like I'm coming out of this cave and this energetic kind of cave and feeling okay about now making some plans for the future and coming into a deeper commitment with my work from a really core, just raw, organic, core, well-established, grounded space to share. So I wanted to share with you this morning what is coming up. It's crazy awesome when you allow the universe to support you and you're willing to receive that, which is, it's hard. I know it's been, you guys, it's been well over 6 months that I've been deeply in this space where I dialed back my personal sessions. I couldn't work all that much because I was dealing with a lot of my own interpersonal work, lots of things popping up in interpersonal relationships and connections that I have. As you know, close family member with cancer, like not a good scenario here. And then children and life milestone moments, things changing, the cancer piece affecting the kids so deeply and so innately that, of course, and then it brings up all my stuff with my dad, watching my dad get sick. And right here now is a very, very, very deep time for me because I'm coming up on the 20th anniversary of my dad's death. And I'm not a person that usually like, I think it's weird. I used to think it was really weird when people would like celebrate the family would get together on the day that the person died. And that's kind of what my husband's family did a little bit for a while. But in fairness, it was because his dad actually died on New Year's Day. So the family would get together on New Year's Day. And then there would always be like this, oh, we're going to do this in honor of or memory of or something. It's like, no, we don't need to say that. We know that. But so it's kind of awkward a little bit, right? So I wasn't sure, like, I'm not going to celebrate his death, but I am going to lean into the opportunity for release because that's what death is, a transition, just like graduating from high school and going on to college is a transition, or graduating from college and moving on to a career is a transition, or majorly changing your job. Totally changing your job is a transition, or going back to school for something different, or for a massive degree, or moving across the country like my sister just did this year. That is a transition. So those things are connected to the energy of death, because parts of you have to die. You have to be willing to let go of what is dead. It's driftwood. Okay, driftwood isn't ugly. It's rather beautiful and it serves a purpose. And at the same time, you don't need it. It's extra, like in your baggage. When you check in, let me tell you, they weigh your bags. And if your bags are over 50 pounds, you pay a lot for that. A lot. And you have to sift and sort and decide how to reshift all the weight that you're carrying, put some stuff in your carry-on instead of your bag and all that. I've seen people, you've seen them at the airport just digging out their bag and like taking out their books and putting them in their carry-on. That was almost me once. One time I got really close to that, but I didn't have to. But that's just shifting around your crap and your weight. So if you can let go of some of that stuff. Like you don't have to carry books with you. You don't have to carry books with you. You can just access it from your phone, right? Things change. And so too can you. You get to change over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. I know society doesn't like that because the mind really hates that. It gets scary. Change is scary for the brain, but it's inevitable. It happens all the time. Look at the seasons. Look at the day. Morning gives way to midday, which gives way to the evening. So it's a constant process of letting go and surrendering. Just the day. It happens. It's organic, it's natural. And we're like so afraid of it, you know? So I'm in this place where, like right here, right now, this was the time when my dad went into the hospital. He had collapsed at work and he went to the hospital and he never came out. He didn't come home. And so I am very aware of how life changes quickly, and especially with specific things happening in my personal life, like with someone having cancer and then the kids being really, really, really affected, as well as myself and looking back at the past and my first marriage. And there's a lot that comes up to be healed. And it's not healed by making sense of it with your mind. It's healed by letting go of it with your body, in your body. And so I have started back into yoga again. Luckily, I had kind of low back challenges and a hip thing that showed up in early May of this year, surprisingly, like when I was on a trip. But it's obviously the body holding something, right? And finally, it kind of loosened up. I went to acupuncture. I've had incredible experiences with acupuncture just in general, makes me feel so good. And I found an acupuncturist by me now that I really like. And it's super crazy, affordable, unbelievable. I'm like, this is cheap. I'm doing this over and over and over again. And so I've been doing that, taking care of my body that way. And it's allowed healing to happen and to unfold. And with intention, I have been allowing emotion to come up. And it's not specifically, you guys, about the event or the experience of like losing my dad. It's about all of the things that's happened after that. And eventually I had children. I had 2 more kids. I was pregnant when my dad, I was very, very pregnant when my dad died. I gave his eulogy. I was so pregnant, I couldn't sit very close to the, the thing when I was doing the speech, it was so fun. I was like way pregnant. Ankles were like all puffy. It was just a thing. And built a house right after that, a brand new, huge, beautiful house, and accepted promotion at work. And then a couple of years after, then had another baby a year and a half after that, and then ended up getting divorced a couple of years after that. And so there was a lot of and then got another promotion. There's a lot of major changes that occurred, and just so much life has been lived since that time in 20 years. This block of 20 years, when you think about it too, it's like a baby is born and then they go through all the schools, like every single milestone and all the stuff that happens in the early childhood through elementary, through middle school, through high school, into what do they do after high school kind of thing. Some go to college, some go to a different, like a training program or apprentice program. Some go right into the workforce, some travel, there's a lot of different places that we go in our life, right? Experience. And so 20 years is a lot of that. Like I literally feel like I'm a 20-year-old right now and trying to be like, hey, what kind of fresh perspective or energy is available to me here and now? And working through and shedding layers of identity and old constructs that are just not serving anymore. And I've been working on that for this past several months and leading up, I think, to this in part to support this beautiful transition into whatever's next for the next 20 years, like that is how it really feels to me. It feels like a gift, and it's painful. There's moments where there's grief, and I feel the loss in general, not for my dad, like that I miss my dad per se, but the loss and grief in my heart from all the things that I've experienced in my life, like divorce and challenges with my kids and all sorts of stuff, and career changes and transition to being a business person, just an entrepreneur, and all the things that come with all those things. There's a lot of grief and a sense of loss, or like letting go, that is present from being able to just kind of mourn the things you weren't able to really feel or experience during those times of change and transition. I feel very present for that now. And it's not really sad, overwhelmingly sad right now. It's much more of a kind of I can breathe feeling right now. And so I will. But so I wanted to share with you. So I love Sunday Morning Coffee. It is a podcast that I created. It was kind of a reboot of something that I had done several years ago, where I used to do audios, weekly audios, and a coffee kind of a talk thing on Sundays, and my version of like a church sermon. And so, that was years ago, like 2012 or 2013 when I was doing that. And well over 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago when I was doing that originally. And then I rebooted it in the last year and a half, last 2 years, and wanted to add something to my Above Life channel, where I do channeling and focus on mediumship and psychic connection and channeling, receiving information and sharing messages on Above Life channel that brings insight and inspiration through afterlife celebrities, because they're interesting, and that's kind of a gentle gateway or opening for people to step into their own intuition and your own ability to connect and channel, to connect with the afterlife, to talk to your loved ones, to talk to famous people and get advice, or whatever it is you want to do, or angels, guides, all that, spirit guides and things. And so I thought it would be a great way to share more of what I do and how I show up in the world and how I want to be in service in the world. And that is through inspiration. I love to communicate. I love to talk. She talks a lot on all the report cards growing up. Apparently that was not a detriment. That was an asset. So you see, it's all in the perspective, isn't it? Thank you, my third grade teacher, Mrs. Bielga, because guess what? Turned out pretty well for me. I actually got, because I like to talk and I'm comfortable in front of people and groups, actually got some money to go help me in college for that, a little scholarship for that communication stuff. So that was appreciated. So it turned out pretty good. But now here I am now here, and I love it. As soon as I see this little microphone light up, and I've been putting it in my videos just because of the logistics of where I'm sitting right now. You probably won't see it so much in the future videos because I'm going to put the mic on the boom. I have a boom, but I haven't connected it to my new desk yet, my Rolly desk. I haven't connected it to it yet, but I will. And so something magical happens to me when it turns on, and I'm just like, and then when I can hear myself, when I put the AirPods in or the headphones on, I like, oh yeah, like this is what's meant to be, I love it. I always thought it would be cool to be a radio host, so I'm kind of creating my own vibe that way, and I like it. It brings me joy, and I feel good when I'm in the space of that, and I'm sharing energetically access to the energy of all the themes that are coming through me, that I have access to, that you have access to, and then I can share that in a way that resonates with many of you, and it kind of taps into your essence and opens up your heart or opens up your mind or shifts your energy just a little bit and helps you kind of step into your day, or helps you kind of tackle that goal or project that you have, or maybe inspires you to grab that book you've been meaning to read and you turn it on when you're going on your jog or your bike ride or whatever. I love that. So the motivational speaker part of me is something that I love, or the inspiring talker part of me is something I really, really love. It's how I connect and communicate, and I want to do more of that with you. So I am obviously on Sundays, I do Sunday Morning Coffee podcast on Above Life channel. And sometimes it's an audio, sometimes it's a video. And I am going to expand that, or I'm going to kind of take a little piece of that, and I am going to use it in a little service that I'm going to offer. I thought it would be cool to do this, to do a little shot of espresso, since it's Sunday Morning Coffee, give you a little boost of energy, inspiration, or insight, and offer an audio or video. I'm not sure which one yet. I haven't decided. I'm just going to do a video or just going to do audio. I'm not sure. And it will be like a kind of like a personal pep talk or a motivational kind of a energetic message sharing. It's not a psychic thing per se, not in a traditional sense, like this spirit guide says this for you. It's not that. It's literally me connecting into the energy of what you want me to focus on, what topic, if there's a topic or something you're going through in your life and you just want support for that, energetic support, words of encouragement, words of inspiration, that's what it's about. So what comes with that, because it's Bridget, is healing energy, is supportive, uplifting, positive energetics. That's what comes with it. So that's what it's about. A shot of espresso is about that. It's about, the espresso is about that boost that you need. And I am happy to provide that. So I'm going to offer that as a service. I'm working on kind of the constructs of it. I'm like, do I want to do a video or audio? Do I want to differentiate? It'll probably be like 10 minutes long. So yeah, I want to do that because I want to expand the part of this that I like so much, is the being able to inspire you through talking, through speech, because your brain gets the words. And I know, as the energy that I present and bring through for you, I know that that is what your energetic being needs, what your soul needs, what your heart needs, what your body is craving, is that connection, which is intangible, but you do feel it. After we have connection, you feel it, right? You do. And so, yeah, so that's what's kind of percolating for me. Plus, I just love this room. I got to say, I love the idea of now an office space for me. And I'm going to have in front of me, I'll have to give you guys a tour. I'm going to put, I just came up with this idea of the corner, inspiration corner, instead of like inspiration point. Remember Happy Days, you guys? Like, some of you are way too young for that, but like old school Happy Days was like inspiration point, where they like went up and like made out there, So I thought, oh, that sounds like fun. I'm going to put that here on this wall. There's like a corner here that I can see if I keep my desk kind of on this side of the room. And because I want it to stay kind of pretty and nice and soothing, calming, cool energy here. Like when you walk in, you can see my altar space right away, which is also rolling. It has wheels on it. It's a little shelf with wheels, very simple. And then in the opposite corner, I have kind of some pedestal tables, tall pedestal kind of display tables that I use, 2 different heights right now. The lower one is like displaying my essential oils for anointing and has a beautiful candle to honor that as we're working through the oils. And then I have a taller one that I had to go grab my Metatron's cube, which is sacred geometry, which is totally a Bridget thing. That's part of how the programming works. Like I see grids and I work with energy. I don't always say that to you. You don't need to know all the details. You just need to know it feels good, right? Or, oh, something's coming up and clearing. And I just use it as like how doctors use medicine or how an acupuncturist just uses a needle. That's it. It's just a tool. And so I had to go grab that and put that in here in the corner. I'm like, oh, cool, sacred geometries in the corner. And I got candles like strategically placed like on the ground, big tall candles, like candles you see at like church. There's not, there was one behind me, but I don't have it handy now. Oh, I moved it over to the side, but like ones that you light like for memorials at churches, you just light the big tall candle like that. I have them all over the room. And then, but I thought Inspiration Corner, then I'll have all these signs and motivational things that I love that make me feel so good. So I can look up and see that and then feel good as I'm doing the work that I'm doing. Right now I'm actually like on my computer screen, my monitor here, I have this great Triskel, which is connected to Bridget, the Celtic goddess. There you go. Because I really feel her jam, as you know. And then this is adventuring. This is prayer beads here. This is adventuring. So I have this just hanging off my computer right now while I'm chatting with you. So I wanted to share that. This is sort of a vlog or maybe an update here on Fairy Grasshopper YouTube. Fairy Grasshopper is cool because it's really casual. On a Above Life channel, I think it's like very specific. I do this, I do this, I do this here. And on Fairy Grasshopper, I'm like, hey, you're in my studio. Let's play. What can we create? And I'll come in here and I'll tell you real stuff. Like when I'm feeling like really heavy or I feel like total shit or something, I'll come in here and be like, okay, guys, I feel like crap. So I check the energy and here's what I think's happening. So you might be feeling this and here's where it's at and here's what's going down, that kind of thing. So, and I think it's important for you to understand that the people that you follow on YouTube or you follow for healing or inspiration or for motivation or for learning about intuition or spirit and spiritual energy and stuff, I think it's super, super important for you to understand that the person that you're following is doing their work, because it's not easy to do that. It's so much easier to deflect and just work on other people's problems instead of dealing with your own. But sooner or later, that comes up in your work and it affects the clients that you work with. That's why I dialed back on my clients. And so that I could really have energy to focus on the sessions I was doing or I had been doing, so I could have lots of ample time to work on myself. And so now it's like opening up and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to do more sessions. I'm excited. And in different ways too, different service offerings. So that's pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. Finally, I feel like I can breathe. So I'm so happy to share this journey with you. I know. It's life, It's life. It's meant to be lived. There's ups and downs. There's ups, and there's downs. And it's all okay. It's all okay, you guys. It's all okay. I hope I've inspired your spirit today. Filled you with some hope and encouraged you to live your life. It's your life after all. You get to live it. Just live it.